A local police chief on administrative leave tonight. What the village of DeForest is investigating. That's straight ahead at 10.
Making it official. Foxconn closes on a downtown Milwaukee property soon to become its North American headquarters.
And later, new video, what a Wisconsin car salesman did to try and stop a pair of thieves.
This is News 3 at 10.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Temperatures are on the rise throughout the day. You could feel that heat and humidity coming in.
And as we enter the weekend now, the Dane County Sheriff's Department reminding people to stay cool, stay hydrated, and stay connected as well. But how hot can we expect it to get? Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti now joining us in the Weather Center. Gary?
It's going to get really hot. We're looking for high temperatures in the lower 90s tomorrow, mid-90s on Sunday. And before that happens, we're watching some thunderstorms tonight. Storms tracking through Columbia County into the northern portion of Dodge County, bringing some heavy downpours and maybe some gusty winds. No severe weather recently out of these storms. They produced some wind damage earlier up in around Black River Falls in west central Wisconsin. But the storms are tracking off toward the east at about 40 miles per hour. Could bring gusty winds and some heavy downpours. But as you can see, we put the radar into motion, and most of those storms are staying north and northeast of Madison. A few more storms starting to develop west of Camp Douglas into west central Wisconsin. But again, those will probably track to the north and east of Madison. Future Doppler track over the next 3 hours, actually showing that the thunderstorm threat will be highest up to the north of us, and then basically move down toward the Milwaukee area. Areas south and west of Madison will probably miss out on the severe or on the thunderstorms altogether. There's a marginal threat for severe weather for tonight for areas north of us. Gusty winds will be the main threats. But tomorrow, look for the heat to return. High temperature of 92, close to the record high of 93. 94 expected on Sunday, close to the record high of 95. Then 88 on Monday, with heat index values in the around the triple digits for tomorrow and Sunday, and in the 90s on Monday, with maybe some late day strong thunderstorms. Heat advisories in effect from 1 p.m. tomorrow until 7 p.m. Sunday for most of southern Wisconsin away from Lake Michigan. High temperatures today hit 90 in the western parts of our viewing area, stayed in the 70s near Lake Michigan. In between, Madison was at 84, but right now we're still at 80 degrees. And when you're talking about dew point temperatures that are already in the low to mid 70s, that's tropical air, and the heat index right now is at 84, so you don't get much of a chance to cool off even at night. Otherwise, look for the threat for thunderstorms overnight. Otherwise, just look for the possibility for partly cloudy skies overnight, and then tomorrow look for a high of 92. That's your first alert forecast.
Gary, thank you. And with this heat wave, be sure to get your forecast on the go with our Channel 3000 weather app. Our accurate 12-hour and 10-day forecasts, all for free, available now in the App Store. Next tonight, it would take you more than 3 hours to drive all the way across southern Wisconsin, but how long would it take you to run across it?
Today, runners from the Darlington High School cross-country team decided to find out. Our News 3 reporter, Adam Duxter, spent time with the team today and is live in Monroe with a special reason why they chose to run.
That's right. The Darlington cross-country team started today with their feet in Lake Michigan, and tomorrow night they'll end at the banks of the Mississippi River. But why this team is running has so much more to do than just a race. With a cheering section, plenty of encouragement, and a long road to travel, they were off. And on this race day, this high school team had fans all over Wisconsin.
It's fun. It's kind of cool how we just run, and then there'll be people out honking and cheering for us and everything.
But this massive statewide relay served to benefit another kind of relay, Relay for Life. What started as an idea,
and then the more I thought about it, after a couple years, we got thinking, wait a second, we could do this, tie it into our Relay for Life,
has turned into a 16-year tradition for this team.
It's like an adventure. You know, you start in Lake Michigan with both feet in the water, and you run across Wisconsin, and they have a great time through the whole thing.
There's 5,280 feet in a mile. Researchers say that this year, more than 4,500 Americans will be diagnosed with cancer each day. For many of these high schoolers, the race against cancer didn't start with this cross-state journey.
Both of my aunts that I've lost in the past 2 years, they both died of ovarian cancer.
Well, my great aunt, Leona Havens, has had cancer, and she battled through it and survived it. I lost my grandpa last year to lung cancer.
But for these runners, the trip across the state is a way to have fun. So much fun, I couldn't resist.
I think we should sprint and see who gets past that camera first.
All right.
In 3, 2, 1. Oh, man! Let's go!
And at the halfway point, A hero's welcome from friends and family. So we're here in Monroe at the halfway point where the runners from Darlington stopped tonight. And a pretty cool story about this. This farm behind me, they would see the runners coming by every single year for the last few years. And a couple of years ago, they asked them what they were doing and why they were doing it. And when they found out, they opened up the barn tonight for pizza, water, snacks. And tomorrow morning, the runners will start here and go all the way to the Mississippi River.
Good to see you got your workout in for the night, Adam. Adam Duxter reporting live. Thank you, Adam.
Yeah.
Next at 10, a home exploded in northern Wisconsin today, killing one woman, injuring 2 others. Authorities say the home in Cable was blown apart and engulfed in flames. A woman died. Her husband said to be in critical condition. A firefighter was also injured, although not seriously. No word yet on exactly what caused it.
An investigation is underway into the DeForest chief of police. Village staff members tell us Chief Dan Furseth has been on paid administrative leave since May 23rd. They say he has been fully cooperative in the investigation. The village hired someone to investigate after a YouTube video surfaced showing what appears to be Furseth making racially charged remarks about a group of black men who were going to Steak and Shake. Village Administrator Steve Falgren says the video is actually 10 years old or more. It was posted on the social media site 2.5 years ago.
An American drone strike has killed a powerful Pakistani Taliban leader. An Afghan Defense Ministry spokesman has confirmed to CBS News that Mullah Fazlullah was killed in a U.S. drone strike in the Afghan province of Kunar. It's on the border with Pakistan. He is the one believed to have ordered the attempted assassination of Malala Yousafzai when she was the young woman advocating for girls' education in Pakistan back in 2012. A Wisconsin judge has denied bond for the Cudahy woman charged with trying to help an overseas terrorist organization. 45-year-old Wahiba Issa Days went before a federal judge today after her arrest on Wednesday. Prosecutors say the mother of 7 tried to recruit people to carry out attacks for the Islamic State and provided them with information on how to make explosives and poisons. She faces up to 20 years in prison if convicted. Police are looking for your help finding a man involved in a possible child enticement last weekend.
They say the suspect approached a group of children near a park in McFarland asking if they wanted a ride. McFarland police are releasing this sketch of the man. He's described as white, between 30 and 45 years old, with black partially shaved hair, a beard, and a lip ring. Police say he was driving a white Dodge Caravan when he approached a group of young children in the Red Oak Trail and Leanne Lane area. According to police, the man asked if the children needed a ride without attempting to force them into the vehicle.
In this case is kind of unique because it may be difficult at this point, based on what we have, to file charges for enticement. But certainly we want to find this individual, interview them, find out why they did what they did, and try to prevent that from happening again.
If the suspect is found, police say it will be up to the district attorney whether to press any charges.
New at 10, a Wisconsin car salesman captured on video trying to stop thieves who are stealing a vehicle off the lot. Video from Miranda's Auto Sales in Milwaukee shows Vicente Hernandez go after the thieves, punching out the window there of the vehicle as they try to steal it. And then he grabs onto the door handle inside when the young thief starts driving off recklessly. The salesman finally lets go.
When you realize what's actually happening, these kids are about to take the car, what goes through your mind?
I had to stop it. I couldn't see myself walking back into the business saying that someone stole the car without me not doing anything about it.
He says he'll take the bruised fist, but if he were to do it over again, Hernandez wishes he would have simply called police instead of chasing that driver.
Janesville police are looking for a man who robbed a gas station last night. This happened around 10:45 at the BP on East Racine Street. Officials say a man came in and demanded money from the register. No weapon was seen, but the man implied he had one. The man fled the scene on foot with an undetermined amount of money. The gas station employee was not injured. Firefighters had to rescue a 20-year-old UW student who got herself stuck in a tree on campus. This happened yesterday on Henry Mall. The woman climbed up the tree about 8 or 9 feet from the ground, but couldn't get down. After being stuck there for about 20 minutes, she called 911 for help. Florida officials say a roller coaster passed a state inspection only hours before it derailed and sent 2 riders plummeting to the ground. 6 people were injured after the sandblaster at the Daytona Beach boardwalk derailed last night. Daytona Beach fire officials say 2 riders fell more than 30 feet.
Wisconsin's Elections Commission is getting ready to mail out tens of thousands of postcards urging residents to register to vote. The commission announced today it plans to send out 384,000 postcards this week to people who appear to be eligible to vote but are yet unregistered. Madison Mayor Paul Soglin floating the idea of a $17 per vehicle city registration fee, but he isn't even sure if he supports the idea. It would cover transportation costs and then free up general fund dollars to cover an unexpected budget shortfall next year. But he says it's a regressive tax, and that's something he has never supported. But they may have no choice but to consider it to cover the cost of basic city services, and they need to start talking about it now if they need that money to start the new year.
But we've reached a point here because of all these previous capital commitments and all these previous commitments to expand services for which we don't have sufficient funds. I think it's got to be an option to consider.
That $17 fee would come on top of a recently enacted $28 Dane County wheel tax. State law says it must pass the council by September 4th to be in place by January 1st, 2019.
A federal judge in Washington has ordered President Trump's former campaign manager Paul Manafort into custody following allegations of witness tampering in his upcoming trial. Manafort had been under house arrest, indicted in special counsel Robert Mueller's ongoing Russia probe. He has pleaded not guilty to all the charges against him. Foxconn Technology Group has purchased a downtown Milwaukee building to house its North American headquarters. This comes as it prepares to build a massive manufacturing complex 30 miles south. Foxconn purchased the 7-story building from Northwestern Mutual and turned over the keys this afternoon. Foxconn says about 500 people will work at the headquarters.
And still to come tonight at 10, Gary rejoins us with your full forecast for the Father's Day weekend.
And drought-like conditions fueling nearly 20 wildfires out west. We'll have an update next.
Welcome back. There's a look downtown Madison right now at the Capitol. The heat and humidity have really ratcheted up so far today, and alert days for this weekend as well are coming for excess heat. Gary will have us updated in this forecast just moments away. The Dane County Sheriff's Office says telephone scammers have continued to find success preying on residents. Officers say they have received many reports of a scammer posing as law enforcement demanding money. Most people, they say, simply hang up, but others have lost hundreds, even thousands of dollars. More than 1,000 firefighters continue to battle massive flames from the largest of nearly 20 fires burning out west, the 416 fire. This is in southern Colorado. It is threatening several communities. It's already burned 32,000 acres. More than 2,000 homes have been evacuated since the fire started back on June 1st.
Janesville is going green. The city just installed 2 electric car chargers and a downtown parking ramp. The charging stations are on the bottom level of the parking garage on North Parker Drive. The city asked that only people who are actively charging their cars park there. Some Beloit students spent their first week of summer back in the classroom tuning up their musical skills. High school students helped host the first ever Rock River Jazz Camp. Many of the younger students who participated had never picked up an instrument before the camp this week. The older students helped teach the younger kids and gave them confidence to do solos and foster their love of music.
High schoolers teaching me how to play it makes me feel good, and that I have people that in my life that can help me learn the drum set.
The camp ended with a special concert this afternoon to show all the parents what their students had learned this week. The high school plans to host this camp every year.
A new B-cycle station has been installed outside the Goodman Community Center for the use of nearby residents and those who rely on the community center for everyday needs and don't have transportation. The station was provided by Trek, who is also funding free B-cycle passes for community center members. A ribbon-cutting ceremony will be held next Thursday. Members will be able to sign up for free passes at that time.
The State Department of Transportation is reminding drivers to keep an eye out this weekend for buckling pavement. The DOT says it is difficult to predict where the buckles may happen, but the problem is most common during the first few major heat waves of the season. And here is one way to beat the heat. Barrett, the polar bear, getting in some laps today at the Henry Vilas Zoo, staying cool as temperatures are expected to reach well into the 90s this weekend.
She seemed to be enjoying that very, very chilly water. Maybe be around a pool or on the lakes this weekend to try and stay cool, but it's going to be tough to find relief.
I don't think that water is going to stay very chilly unless they start putting some big blocks of ice in there like they sometimes do. For the rest of us, we're just going to have to deal with air conditioning and try to stay in the shade as much as possible. Tonight we have some strong thunderstorms over the northeastern portions of our viewing area. Looks like the storms are now just starting to creep into the northern portions of Dane County up around DeForest. These cells possibly producing some very small hail as they track off toward the east and southeast at about 30 to 40 miles per hour. That could bring some stronger gusty winds. The main stronger line of thunderstorms has now pushed into east central Wisconsin, but as we widen out the radar view a little bit, you can see as this cluster of storms moves through, a little more thunderstorm development starting to take place upstream. These will probably also track to the east-southeast, and then after that, that's pretty much it. Areas south and west of Madison will probably not see any rain at all tonight. There is a marginal risk that one or two of these storms could produce hail or gusty winds, mainly through central Wisconsin, but we'll just keep an eye on the storms for tonight. Tomorrow and Sunday, no rain expected. It's the heat we're definitely going to be watching. Again, tomorrow's predicted high temperature 92, very close to the record high of 93, set back in 1994. Sunday's predicted high of 94, close to the record high of 95. Heat index values will be up around 100 to 105 degrees. That's dangerously hot for some people. So stay in the shade, stay in air conditioning as much as possible, and check on your neighbors that might not be in the greatest of physical condition. Monday, high temperature still in the upper 80s with high humidity means the heat index will be in the 90s, and we could see some strong thunderstorms late in the day as the heat finally starts to break Monday night into Tuesday. Heat advisories in effect for most of the central Midwest. There could be heat advisories or even heat warnings, especially in the Chicago metro area and up toward the Twin Cities as well. Heat warnings in effect right now for the St. Louis metro area. Future track temperatures, 5 p.m. tomorrow. You can see 90s, low to mid 90s through most of southern Wisconsin. Northern parts of the state might have some thunderstorms to keep them in the 80s. Sunday, very similar high temperatures, middle 90s through much of southern Wisconsin. The heat through much of the state as well. If we take a look at the future track heat index, this begins tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. Look at the heat index already in the mid-70s, and by late tomorrow afternoon, probably climbing close to 100 degrees here in Madison. Some areas will be in the triple digits around the area. And then on Sunday, even in the morning, heat index values drop to only around 80 by 7 a.m. and then climb back up into the triple digits, even into the Madison area. So again, dangerously hot for some people. As we take a look at high-resolution Doppler radar, again, another cluster of storms back to the north and west, that will swing on through. And then once that moves on through, I think that's pretty much it for tonight. Now, there is a risk of severe thunderstorms toward north and west tomorrow and maybe into parts of central Wisconsin on Sunday, but here I'm not even expecting any thunderstorm activity over the weekend. Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison doesn't show the humidity, but it is sticky out there. High today 84, the low 62. Right now we're at 80 degrees, but it feels like 84 because the dew point temperature is in the 70s, the humidity at 79%. Forecast for tonight calls for partly cloudy skies, a chance of showers and thunderstorms mainly to the north and east of Madison, low at 72. Tomorrow, hot and humid, high temperature of 92, heat index from 97 to 102 degrees. Future track keeps those storms mainly to the north and east of Madison overnight. Low temperatures in the lower 70s, high temperatures tomorrow, lower 90s. The atmosphere is just so warm, you really can't even get thunderstorms to develop. Temperatures dropping back into the mid-70s for tomorrow night, and Sunday, another scorcher with high temperatures in the middle 90s. 7 to 10 day forecast. 88 for a high on Monday with some thunderstorms in the afternoon into the Monday night. Some of those could be strong. And then Tuesday, a chance of thunderstorms. High temperature drops back to 77. Temperatures much more tolerable for the rest of next week. Highs in the lower 80s, maybe a slight chance of a thunderstorm Thursday, and then again toward Sunday and Monday of the following week.
So take extra care for the next few days.
Right. Keep an eye on your neighbors, too, and your pets.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Brewers try to keep the ball rolling at home tonight in Milwaukee. The story coming up in sports.
The Brewers start the night a game and a half ahead of the Cubs in the NL Central. Brewers homestand continues as the Philadelphia Phillies are in for the weekend. And with Jake Arrieta starting for the Phillies, you think it could be a tough night for the Brewers. But Arrieta isn't all that great tonight. Second inning, he hits Brewer pitcher Brent Suter on the toe of his left foot. That drives in a run. And the Brewers get 5 in the second. They get 3 more in the fourth. Christian Yelich hits his 9th homer of the season. Arrieta doesn't get out of the fourth. The Brewers beat the Phillies tonight 13-2. The Cubs, though, are also leading the Cardinals 12-5, that in the 8th. Second round of the U.S. Open Golf Championship. Dustin Johnson is the #1 ranked player in the world. He shows why today. Johnson rolls in this 45-footer for birdie on the way to a round of 67. He's the only guy under par after 2 rounds. He's at 4 under with a 4-shot lead at the halfway point at Shinnecock Hills. Steve Stricker makes the cut on the number 8 over. That means Stricker has made the cut in 27 straight majors. That by far is the longest active streak of major cuts made. Not so much for Tiger Woods. Despite 72 today, Tiger's out after shooting 10 over. At the WIA State Girls Soccer Tournament, Belleville New Glarus takes an undefeated record into the Division III semifinals against Notre Dame tonight in Milwaukee. Belleville New Glarus with a record of 18-0-1 coming in, but they were the 3rd seed in Division III. Notre Dame, one of the top programs in the state, too, and the Tritons get on the board in the first with an early goal. Grace Shaw gets her 34th goal of the season at the .223 mark. And that is the winning goal, actually. Notre Dame beats Belleville New Glarus 3-0. This morning, Wisconsin Heights Barneveld faced Cedar Grove, Belgium in the Division IV semifinals. There was only 1 goal scored in the whole game there. A minute 27 in, Amy Ten Hawkins scores the only goal of the game. Cedar Grove, Belgium beats Wisconsin Heights Barneveld 1-0. The state championship finals start at 11 a.m. tomorrow. That Division II game features Oregon against Brookfield Central. At 1:30, Sheboygan North and Bayport in Division I. The 4:30 game has Cedar Grove, Belgium against Kenosha St. Joseph in the Division IV final. And at 7, Catholic Memorial against Notre Dame for the Division III Girls Soccer Championship. Of course, Waunakee won the state Division I baseball championship last night, 3-1 over Arrowhead. Derek Lee was the winning pitcher for Waunakee, and his dad, Spencer, is Waunakee's head coach. That's a pretty good early Father's Day present.
Could it be any better than that? To have my son be the winning pitcher in a game with all his friends on the field that I've known since they were little kids, it doesn't get any better than that. It's an amazing thing, and I just love every one of those kids and what they did for this program. Unbelievable. I tell you what, they don't have to get me a gift anymore. This is good enough.
I knew that we were going to win because all of our guys are so motivated, and we all wanted to win this. We've wanted this since we were so little. Now we got it.
And it was a real up-and-down day for Cristiano Ronaldo. The World Cup, his Portugal team played Spain, and all Ronaldo did was score 3 goals, 2 on penalty kicks. Portugal and Spain tied at 3. Now, Ronaldo is from Portugal but plays for Real Madrid in Spain. So also today, Ronaldo agreed to pay $21 million in back taxes in Spain and also received a 2-year suspended sentence, but it's unlikely that Ronaldo will serve any jail time. We'll be right back.
Happy Father's Day to the three of you.
Thank you.
You guys have a nice hot weekend ahead.
Yeah, probably standing in front of the grill, right? You know, that's all you need to do on Father's Day. Well, some thunderstorms tonight, briefly cooling things down north of Madison from around DeForest to south of Beaver Dam and over toward West Bend. But as you can see on Doppler track, those storms are heading more toward the southeast. So areas south and west of Madison will probably miss out on the rain altogether. Current temperatures still in the mid-70s to around 80. Dew point temperatures upper 60s to the middle 70s. And the heat index right now still feels like it's in the 80s over parts of southwestern Wisconsin. Heat advisory from much of the areas from 1 p.m. tomorrow until 7 p.m. Sunday. Fortunately, a break in the heat after the weekend.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Do something good.